I'm on to you. This should not be recorded. They built houses like one Ellington Avenue. There were two different models for the Air Force men that were there during the war. And so this big, not so big, village appeared overnight, and that's where they stayed. And then within sight of, we were right on the edge of that, and within sight of it was the airfield with a railroad track in front of it. Anyway, but right after the war, they sold these places at incredibly low price. And that's the first house my mum and dad ever bought. Anyway, and so my dad used to be a railroad engineer. And are you recording? I might as well tell the whole story. Just before we moved to Ellington Avenue, they would fire or retire the engineers when they had to wear glasses. And so this has happened to Dad. They used to do all sorts of tricks to get around that. Anyway, and
glasses. This just seems weird. Because we all have glasses.
so, yeah, but the engineer used to sit with his head out the window, so I know that had something to do with it. Anyway, so, but it was still in my dad's blood, and he could see this railroad track and the engines, the trains going by, and he would stand on this porch and say to himself, well, anyway, one day my mum saw him, and this shouldn't be recorded, standing there, waving at a passenger train as it passed, just very excited and waving. I don't know how much they could see because there was a good distance. And so Mum, you couldn't pull anything over my mum, and she immediately suspected something was up.
She's waiting.
Oh.
No. Sit down. She can wait. She can wait.
So Mum thought something's up. And somehow, I think she went through his stuff and found a letter. And I don't know what all the letters said, but Mum knew that she was on this train. Bulawayo was the hub of all the railroads, went north and south and so on. So practically everything went through Bulawayo. So Mum surmised, well, she was on the train going to Salisbury or whatever, but she knew when she was going to be back in Bulawayo again.
Because of the train schedule.
And maybe the letter said what date or whatever. I'm just pulling that out of my head because I'm hazy about how Mum found out. So she went to town and bought a new hat.
Obviously the answer.
Because she looked so good in hats. And she planned to go to the railroad station when the train arrived. And she was going to throw her wedding ring down at this woman's feet and say, "Here, you can have him."
Wow.
But then I'm now a bit hazy about this. See, we should have been asking Mum all these things and recording it. Anyway, I don't know how she planned to get to the railroad station if my dad was going to be there. They only had one car. And then she planned to ride a bike, which she was quite capable of doing. Or maybe she just said to him she was going to go with him. And because it came to a head before they left the house, and she told him that this is what she was going to do, and she was through if that's what he was up to. And he broke down completely. Now, my dad was a very proud man and begged her, "Please don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'll have nothing more to do with her. It's over. Don't do it. Don't do it. And that was that.
So she was just the mistress was just abandoned at the train station?
Yeah, she never knew. You know, we had no phones. So she was left. I don't think they were going anywhere. I mean, I think they were just intermediate because she was passing through. But Mom wasn't going to have it. Had a new hat to bolster her up.
Another story in the saga of powerful women in the family.
And how Mom, you know, she didn't have an education. And how she just knew all of these things instinctively.
When was the last time you bought a new hat?
I bought a kayaking hat.
Oh yeah.
So I bought a new hat 2 years ago for kayaking.
Okay. Kayaking. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
We'll go with that story.